Hey guys, and welcome back to Teen Questions. It's been 8 days since the last one. It was a weird sound I just made. Yeah, basically I was at the weekend stream thing, so like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I've been like really busy, and just away from the house. I was over at Josh's. I want to say thank you for all your support and also the awesome people who came to the weekend thing. We had so much fun. We're playing on a Wii U for the first time, for example, and oh my god, Smash is so good. I've come to love Super Smash, or Smash Wii U, whatever the name is, and I love all the characters, I love all the variety, all the different types of attacks and stuff, and all the different things you can do. And it took me a very long time to sort of appreciate that game and actually properly enjoy it, rather than sort of just mash buttons and hope something happens, rather than like the skill level of it. And I think it's really cool. So yeah, hopefully I will do that more often. And yeah, I just had a lot of fun. And I want to say thanks for all the people who came and showed up. And if you missed it, you can check the past broadcast. None of it's muted or anything over at Rage's Twitch channel. It'll be under past broadcasts. But otherwise, guys, it's time for Teen Questions. Got a few questions. Let's go. Alright, starting out with Sir Gregory. Nice name. Hello, what is your view on libraries and the future of libraries? Well, the idea of a library is pretty simple. You join the library, you like sign up to the library, and you pay a small fee, like every now and then. I think it's like once a month. Depends on your library, I guess. And then you can borrow a book for a certain amount of time. You can also say, let's take a book away for 2 weeks, and then you can go, I want to extend the time that I have this book for another 2 weeks. And you can do that over and over, right? At most libraries anyway, the ones that I use. And that's how it works. Or you could go to a bookshop and spend about 18 quid or something on the same book, or 10 quid, depending on how long the book's been out, I guess, and just spending a bit of money, fair bit of money on this book that'll permanently be in your room. Like, I have this like wall of books up here that I've all read once, and I intend to read them again. A few of them I have read a couple times, and the thing is, I've read them once, and it's nice to look at, and every time I see them, I'm like, yeah, memories, you know, I remember all these funny things that have happened, or interesting things in parts of the books, and it gives me a little, like, jolt of memory, and I like that. But, man, is it expensive. Like, I'm looking at the Skullduggery series, and I must have spent, like, well, it's like, fuck, like, a tenner on, no, £15 on that, £20 on £20 on £20 on 4, because the first 4, so, you know, it's a hefty bit of money. It's nearly £100, about £80 or so that I spent on just those books. And what I could have done is gone to the library and just took the first book, read it, sent it back, got the second book, read it, and it would have cost me about, I don't know, over the pace of reading them for over like 6 months or something, I guess it would have cost me like, I don't know, £5 or £6 comparatively. So that's a big deal, right? That's a big deal. But people don't realise or care for libraries because it's just like you have to sign up and it's annoying, and you gotta make sure you keep your reservation. And if you keep it too long, you don't bring it back in time, they charge you more money, for example. You know, there's a lot of those things that are taken into account, and I think why bookshops are still alive, at least the ones that are still alive, are doing okay, is because they have signings and they have like a coffee shop that you can go sit in. You know, at libraries you got computers, which is what's keeping them alive. That people who don't have their own computers can go use those for or whatever, or do like a LAN thing or something. Yeah, and I don't know, put a coffee shop in it, you know, that kind of thing. You might have some success with libraries. But, yeah, I think what keeps a bookshop alive and what a library could do is have signings, you know, have the authors of books come sign things and have an event and, you know, make it like a public event that can happen every week or something, and that will bring people to the library the same way it brings people to the bookshops. And then from there, once you've had this sort of event, then, you know, you've got people going, oh shit, this library thing's kind of awesome. It's a library, obviously it makes sense, let's use it. And then they do, you know. I think they need to draw people in with like events or something special regularly for a library to be successful. Otherwise, I don't know how I feel about them in the future, but I worry that they'll die out. And, you know, they're such a clever little thing, that a good thing for a community to be able to just go to, that I don't want to see them die out. But yeah, good question, Sir Gregory. I like that one. So we have Rated Gaming. What is your Christmas list, Hollow? Let's not get too in-depth on it, but there's a few things that I am sort of needing. I'm a very practical person, I guess. Firstly, let me show you. I got these weights. And this is about 10 kg, I guess. It's 2.5 on each weight. This is what I use for myself to try and build my arms and whatnot. And oftentimes, you know, I don't do it for a while, and then my arm's like, ooh, weak, can't do it. And then I use them, and then, yeah, I'm back to being strong. And then it's like, I'm limited to that because I'm stuck at 10 kg. I need better ones. Plus, as you saw there, it was only on one side. That's all of the weights that I have for my dumbbells. Yeah, that's all of them onto one. So the rest of the ones that I've got like left over are like these, and this is what? This is like 1 kg, and then I've got even lighter ones like 0.5 that are just like, I ain't ever gonna use that. It's just nothing. This right here, you know, it's I'm actually struggling more to balance it than to pick it up with like the 2 fingers or whatever. See, like here, there you go. Look, I'm trying to fucking balance this thing, but it's just it's very light basically. You know, it's not. Worthless. So I can't even put like other weights onto the other bar that I've got and do them like both at the same time, or like, you know, these shoulder presses to work on pecs and stuff. You know, there's a lot of things that I would benefit from having a second dumbbell to use. So I'm like, can I get some good dumbbells, please? It's like my main thing, man. Yeah, very practical. You know, a good bookmarks. I asked for some books, a good bookmark, because the bookmark I use is awful. You know, I need a good one. You know, very simple stuff, really. You know, practical stuff, I guess. You know, I could do with a better chair. I guess this one's seat's a bit worn down. You know, that's how I feel about Christmas. You know, I go, hey, look, I'm gonna replace some of my stuff that's not as good anymore. Cool. But honestly, the main thing for me isn't exactly like literal Christmas presents. You know, being able to see my family and hang out and just have a chilled out day is wonderful. But yeah, Linny's going to be coming over hopefully a few days after Christmas, and I'll be able to see her for like a week or however long. And yeah, that'll be really nice. And I'm just really looking forward to that, to be honest with you. So that's my main thing. Practical stuff usually, and books. I like books. That's how I feel about it this year. You know, it's been a year of just, you know, I've definitely changed this year and how I feel about Christmas in general, and I'm really happy about that. But yeah, books and stuff. All right. Next question from Spencer Francis. Hello. How do you correct someone respectfully? Like, they want to be respectful and not insult that person or make them angry by pointing out how they're wrong, basically. And I think it comes down to, in a big way, how you say the thing you want to say. So let's say someone says 1 + 1 is 3, and you're like, no, it's 2. You could just be like, no, you're wrong. It's 2. Boom, they're offended. Boom, they're not going to believe what you say because they're angry at you. Okay? And I'm obviously saying this is a very silly thing because with maths it's like something and there's no way around that. But like opinions and facts and things that happened and all that junk you might be thinking about. Just as an example, I'm using the 1 + 1 thing. So try to apply it to your own scenario, but I'm trying to like make a template, okay? So yeah, the 1 + 1 thing. So you said you're an idiot, you're wrong, it's 2, what the fuck? They're offended and now they don't believe you because they're busy being angry at you, you know? Or maybe they believe you but they're angry at you and now something bad's gonna happen or something. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, you want to phrase it better. So it's like, actually, I think it's... Fuck, man. Even saying, actually, I think it's 2 is gonna offend them. You know, it is really hard to get around. And I understand why you asked this question. You know, I don't have all the answers, but I'm trying. But how I feel about it is, it's like, you know, if you're like kind of neutral about it, like you're not sure yourself, you could be like, well, I worked it out to be like 2 or something, you know. You could be like, if it's someone's opinion, I was like, oh, well, I was thinking that it was, you know, I thought, you know, this person had actually said this, and you know, it's just like, I guess it comes down to like the phrasing of the first part of the sentence before you say the correction is crucial. You know, I think being super neutral at the start of it, and throughout the whole question, I guess the answer, the correction, is gonna make a big impact on whether this person's mad at you or not. I would definitely go with just being super neutral. And try to be respectful through that. You know, don't be like, no, this is it. You kind of have to be kind of, I'm not sure that this is the right answer, but this is why I came to this conclusion, and just put it to them and see how they react to it. And then you can get a back and forth from there when they're ready to just maybe change their opinion from there. Rather than just diving right in and just being like, no, you're wrong. They're going to be offended. And that's how I try and deal with it. I've got one from Thera. Hey, Poppy. My question is how to deal with comparing yourself to others. Oh man, good question. Fuck, dude, comparing yourself to others is something we all do. You know, it's something we all do. We see someone who's successful or someone who is the opposite, you know, not successful at all, or down on their luck, or just having things go wrong for them, and we think we might be better than them, or, you know, someone's like really successful at the age that you're at, and they're doing better than you, for example, or something like that, and you just go, fuck, what am I doing with my life, or some shit, you know? It's something that you have to teach yourself, I guess, to react to, you know? If someone's doing well and they're doing something and they're being successful, then you just need to look at that and go, wow, that's awesome. They are doing really well and I'm happy for them. You know, you tell yourself, even if you don't feel like that, maybe your instant reaction is, oh man, I'm so jealous, or man, why am I not like that? Tell yourself, say to yourself, but they are still successful and they've still earned that thing and I'm happy for them, right? And then from there, it's like, if they can do it, so can you, you know? Any person can do anything anyone else can do, right? Ultimately, you know, we're all limited by a few things, but it's like the line is barely there, you know? There's no real thing keeping you from doing what you want, right? So you look at them and go, I'm happy for them. They've done a good job there. I could do that, you know? I could do that. And if you want to do it, do it. You know, that's as simple as that. Simple as that. If you want something, you have to put the time and effort into it, and it doesn't matter who they are, what they're doing. If you want to do something, then do it. Take the steps, start learning, get through that first wall of just, this is really hard, and then get to this sort of stage where you're like, okay, I'm kind of getting this, and then from there, you know, before long, you'll be that person. You'll be the one who is successful at that thing, and then someone else will probably see you and go, fuck, why am I not like that, you know? And that's just the circle of life. So just take it on the head. My monitors just went, I'm going to go to sleep now. Take it on the chin, take it on the head, take it on the chin. Take it on the chin makes more sense than taking it on the head, because the phrase is take it on the chin. Take it on the chin and, you know, don't see someone and go, he's successful, that's bad for me. See someone who's successful and go, cool, I could do that. Maybe I will. And then do it if you want to, you know? Just force that mentality into your head, you know? Even if your first reaction isn't necessarily that, just be like, well, it's good that they're successful, and it's not like I couldn't do that. And if you want to, do it. Simple as that. That's how I feel about it. Final question from Hand of Freedom. Do you think gaming is a good thing, or can it be bad for some people and hold them back from what they really want to do? For example, it could take up too much time for addiction and stuff. I don't think games are exactly addictive. In fact, I would say that they're not. In fact, they're not, because you think of something that's got an addictive quality. Let's say nicotine, right? The thing that's in cigarettes. That actually causes you to need to smoke, right? Or something inside the cigarette. It might not be specifically only nicotine. I'm just giving an example. Yeah, so, you know, your body now is like, I need to smoke, you know, and I need to smoke. It would calm me to smoke, because I'd get this nicotine into my system, which would then calm me, and I need to keep doing that to remain calm, you know? So that's addiction. With games, it's like, you know, you sit down and you play it and you really enjoy it and you want to keep playing it, but nothing in your body is specifically, sorry, I just hit the desk. Nothing in your body is specifically saying to you, you need to do this. It's just your brain going, I want to do this. You know, there's a difference between need and want, right? And it comes down to self-control and, you know, your own determination to do something, right? So yes, it's totally something that could happen. You know, someone could play way too many games. Someone could ride their bike too much. Someone could go for runs too much. Someone could watch too much TV or whatever. You know, it all comes down to whether they make themselves do that. Yes, I 100% agree that it can be a really bad thing for some people who have addictive natures, I guess, where they just sort of want to play and nothing else, you know, everything goes on the back burner, and, you know, they procrastinate and they use games as an excuse and dive into a different world. I understand that, you know, I've been there. A lot of us have been there. It's just a case of self-control. I don't think there's anything specifically addictive in the nature of anything that doesn't have something physically going into your body and causing like a chemical reaction to be an addictive nature. I just think, you know, sometimes something's so good that you just want to keep doing it, right? And it comes down to self-control, I really think. So yeah, it could be, gaming can be a good thing. It's good for relieving stress. It's good for making friends. It's good for, jumping into a different world. It's good for experiencing stories. It's good for a lot of things. But there are bad, things when it comes to gaming, for sure. And there are bad things to all things. Good and bad things to all things. And it all comes down to moderation, self-control, doing things at a normal rate, and leaving time for the important things in your life as well. And that is how I feel about it. Thanks so much for all the questions, guys. I had a lot of big questions, a few that I've answered in the comments, and I saw someone called Shanice, so shout out to you. I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. Probably am. Shanice was replying to a lot of things and giving her opinion on a lot of people's problems and answering questions that I've already answered for them, and I really appreciated that. So thank you to you. Shout out to you, and thanks for all the people doing that. Otherwise, guys, keep asking them questions. I love answering them. Sorry this one's a day late, but I'm sure you don't mind. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to ask a question down in the comments. That's where I'll look for them. And hopefully you'll see it on the next one. See you next time, guys.